piece before, just highlighting that the fact that the local artisans, and which is obviously for them it's great, but it is wonderful to think you can go one place and hopefully get these are rock and roll.
Even the cards are
yeah. Well, I know you eloquently put it in the notes you sent to me. Just, you want corporations, especially all that, this top important shite, that they could get gorgeous stuff at home in Ireland, right on their doorstep. So it's been a year, and it is something that you've always said to me, that you just like the idea that people who make gorgeous stuff would have a place to sell it. Did that take long to establish? Because, you know, you have to get the name out, you have to, you know, meet these people. How did that go for you?
a bit of both, actually. People came to me and I found them too, you know. Yeah, it's great. It's actually my real passion now is to, I mean, if I could have the whole store local, I would.
Right.
To be honest, that's kind of where I nearly see the store going now at this stage.
Because you are in a place where there's a lot of people making good stuff. You know,
Yeah.
everybody seems to have in their family somebody who's making something gorgeous. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not like there's a lack of good stuff out there.
Yeah, well, so the scenario is like that someone will come in and they'll need a hand to buy a gift. So the ideal situation is that 70% of the gift will be local. So we'll build a box. So it'll be maybe 2 or 3 things from local.
Yeah.
And then maybe, you know, the last part will be a European gift.
And the best part is you don't have to actually meet the hippies who make them, because they can be very hard people to deal with, you know, the way it is. These hippies don't know what they're doing.
Not at all.
But
every local gift has a story.
Right.
And I love being able to tell that story.
Because the name even would reflect something usually for people in a big way. Sometimes it's just a gorgeous name, but often it means something to them. That's why they started it. That's why they...
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, like the forager, her story is amazing.
And what does she do now, the forager?
She has an allotment in Bornabrina. She grows all of her flowers in
Bornabrina, is that a real place?
Yes, it is. It's
you
in
sure?
the Dublin Mountains.
Okay.
So she's doing extremely well. Her healthcare, her balms, her moisturising cream.
Beautiful.
She's doing brilliant. The Wild Glen, her candles. I've launched my product line.
We'll hit on that too, because that's something big since I last saw you that you've actually got to that.
So I'm launching my own product line. We have Brady's coffee. They've launched their soaps. I think I was the first store to have their soaps in.
Right. And these are the ones with big Egypt soaps, and very nice, very good. They are the perfect Christmas gift.
Mojo & Co, their wellness journals, they're selling really well. I have pre-orders here now for KG Designs, which are going to do well for Christmas.
Well, in the text now, we'll give people a full list, because obviously it's great to promote these guys, but also, you know, for the average person, just get an idea of who this is and what it is that they're having a look at. But that simple coming together of loads of disparate kind of people who would naturally be doing their own thing, dancing to their own beat, having them, you know, together in one place is kind of unique, because I know there's other places that will, like coffee shops and that, will give local artists a little exhibition and all that, but it's so important really that, and this sounds like we're lazy, but just to make it convenient for people to get these things.
Yeah, like, I mean, the idea of Eden Gifts is that they come in here and I help them to find the perfect gift. So I'll always kind of ask them who they're buying for and get an idea of who the person is, and then I'll actually help. So it's more like a concierge gift store.
Right.
So I help them to buy. Because a guy came in here last week and he was like, I want to buy a gift voucher for someone. And I said, no. That's not happening.
That's not how it works, no.
And he was like, no, you know what, it's fine. And I said, no. And he left and he was like, I'm so glad I didn't get that gift voucher. Because he knew that he was being lazy.
Sometimes the thought doesn't really count for much. I think the idea of actually getting something.
No, but he left delighted, and he was like, I'll be back at Christmas. You know?
Deadly.
Because it's kind of the thought behind the gift, and it's kind
of,
you know. So,
and we're all kids at heart. Like, we love the idea of opening something that is, you know, special, is an actual gift. You know, vouchers are great if you're like 14 and you just fear what you might get from your parents at this stage. But most of us just love the idea that somebody thought about it and reckoned, this is how good you are, this is how cool you are.
But I always say as well, regardless of your budget, if your budget is €40, you can still put together a nice box with 2 or 3 items for €40.
Yeah.
You have these lovely stones here, you know, which
Right.
have meaning. You know, you can put something like that in. You know, a gorgeous candle, a gorgeous balm. So you have 3 gifts in one.
Yeah.
Rather than getting one gift that they mightn't necessarily like, you can have.
Right.
You can spread
the joy. And
liability.
I do like the idea too that you know, you're saying that people come in, they explain who they want to buy something for. The fact that you've sold out of the Egypt soaps would suggest there's a lot of Egypt around here.
Yeah, there is a lot of there is a lot of Egypt
Now,
here, yeah.
we did talk, and people will link back to it, that when we spoke a year ago, there you are, 20 years in finance. This is something that always in the back of your mind, you know, like most people, you have a little dream about, I'd like to do my own thing.
Yeah.
So that actual reality, I'm guessing it was both joy and tough, because any business, it's kind of like it's never a smooth ride. It's always like some days are hard and some days are joyful.
Yeah.
So how's the year been for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, it started off, you know, I had a pulmonary embolism like 3 to 4 weeks before setting up this business. So it wasn't an easy transition.
Right.
I was very sick opening this business.
Mm.
And yeah, it's been tough, but I'm the type of person that just keeps going. Keeps going.
Is there a chance that, I think we touched upon this, that sometimes having something else to do outside of just, you know, dealing with your illness or dealing with your situation, there's almost like a kind of, it has its own sort of relief that it's like when you have to walk home, no matter how tired you are, you'll keep walking because you want to get home.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing part of it might have been therapeutic. There might have been like a sense of being able to do something positive while you were feeling.
Well, I won an award earlier on in the year, and I think part of that was they were inspired by my story, that I didn't give up, that regardless of how sick I was, I just kept kind of pushing through, and I still opened the store even though I was very sick opening the store. And yeah, so I was delighted to have won that award.
That's Best Emerging Gift Shop 2024,
Yeah,
which must have been a nice, sweet thing when they got in touch and said, you know, we want to give you this award for what you've done.
Yeah, because it's kind of a luxury magazine that kind of found me, and they loved the kind of that I was supporting, you know, the local artisan creators, which again was my passion. And again, I'm back to what I was doing beforehand. I was supporting small businesses, so it's kind of gone back to where I was where I was comfortable, what I loved doing in my previous career. So it's kind of full circle again, you know.
And we should say, of course, a natural progression with this is doing your own thing as well, having your own product line. I know you've got like plans for a charity candle, which will be further down the line, but that stepping into actually making your own, that's kind of a big step, but it's also a natural one. I would think.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
And what have you got so far? Have you started with the Eden kind of brand?
So I have a candle.
I'm going to turn around this way to you as well, so we can see the street and. So you got
a candle. I have a diffuser, and I have a room spray.
Okay.
About to launch as well.
Nice.
I have a room spray, and more coming down the line.
You're quite a perfectionist, really. You know, I know you don't want to do anything that doesn't, feel that it's the best you could do.
Yeah.
So that's obviously both a blessing and a curse, because you're not going to just settle for anything. You're not going to say, hell, that'll do it. You know, we'll just stick a label on it. But the joy then of actually getting to that point where it's on a shelf must be pretty great, because it is something that you would care deeply about and can only be there because you got it right.
Definitely, yeah. I'm a perfectionist. Sure I am. No, for sure, definitely am. But again, it has to be, you know, made in Ireland. I just think that there's just too much coming into this country at the moment. I think we just need to go back to supporting more Irish brands, and I think we're just, fast fashion is just becoming a real problem, you know. Well,
I mean, personally, obviously, I have no need for going towards Boohoo or any of these people and getting something that's disposable. But I'm guilty of, you know, the quick fix of, I need something for someone and I go on Amazon and I have it the next day. That simple thing, which is just part of your kind of makeup now, that you have to think about it rather than just automatically doing these things. because you know, Kilcoole, Greystones, everywhere around here, there's a lot of, you know, people doing good stuff, and you know, the idea that you would actually, it doesn't so much that they get some money, but it helps the entire town kind of just create, that would help a, you know, a shop survive and help that artist survive, and so it's hugely, the ripple effect is enormous when you just take your time out and look around.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you come in here to do your Christmas shopping, I suppose the big benefit is that I have my Eden boxes, which means you don't have to wrap.
So we should say it's been a year, and obviously, you know, business is always going to be, you know, a challenge for everybody. But I'm hoping that most of it's been just joyful, because I know this was something you really wanted to do. You thought about it. And as I said, it may have been a difficult beginning, but it was therapeutic. It was a sense of going somewhere that you needed to go.
Yeah.
Would you say it's been a good year? Would you say it's been
a lot of learnings?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of learnings last year, which I can take into next year. So yeah, no, I'm positive about the future.
And I suggested getting in sex toys. You still don't feel?
No, not my brand.
Jesus, but you just keep them in a box. Like, you wouldn't have to show. Jesus Christ.